Hello, it's Paige Green at Paige Green's Tutoring, and today we're going to be having a look at function machines, looking at finding the inputs and the outputs, so going both ways through those function machines. With this first one, we're going to go over 4 examples before you have a go at these on your own. So we have here that the input of the first function machine is 4. Now when we're inputting a value into a function machine, we pop it there. So it's going into the function machine. Now the function is to add 2. So I'm going to do 4 add 2, which is 6. So you can see we're just popping it into the machine there. This one, my input is 24. So I'm going to pop in 24, and then the machine's going to take away 6. So if I do 24, take away 6, that's going to give me 18. So my output would be 18. With this next one, I'm inputting 3, but this time my function machine is going to times it by 4. So it will spit out the value 12. And then this last one, we're inputting 14, and my machine's going to divide it by 2. So it will give me 7 on the outside. So all we're doing here is we're popping that value in, doing what the function machine says, and then seeing what we get on the outside. Could you now have a go at those 4 questions for me, putting into practice what we've just done? So for this first one, you should have got 11 because 7 add 4 is 11. This next one, you should have got 27 because 34 take away 7 is 27. This next one, you should have got 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. And then this last one, you should have got 6 as 24 divided by 4 is just 6. Now, let's move on to something a little bit trickier. We're going to look at these function machines. However, you can see it's now giving me the output rather than the input. So what I've got to do here is work backwards through the function machine. So let's have a think about this. If my output is 12, I've got to reverse what I was doing in the function machine. So the opposite when I go backwards of taking 6 away is to add 6. So that's going to give me 18. So my input would be 18. So you can see I'm reversing and working backwards through that function machine. With this second one then, my output is 12, and I've got to work backwards. So instead of adding 4, the opposite is going to be take away. And if I do 12 take away 4, I'm going to get 8. So my input would be 8. This third one here, so my output is 24 this time. Now when I go backwards, the opposite of timesing by 4 would be to divide by 4. So I'm going to do 24 divided by 4, which gives me 6. My input is 6. And now for my last one, my output, I'm going to say is 9. Working backwards, instead of dividing by 3, I have to times by 3 because I'm going backwards and doing the opposite. 9 times 3 is just 27. So my input would be 27. Now, what I would like you to do is pause the video and have a go at those 4 questions there. So trying to find the input when you've been given the output. Now for this first one, you should have got 2, as we're doing 6 take away 4, which gives you 2. This next one, you should have got 11, as 4 add 7 is 11, working backwards. Next one, you should have got 6, as when we're working backwards, we're going to have to divide by 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then this last one, you should have got 18, as when we're working backwards, the opposite of dividing by 6 is times. So 3 times 6 is 18. Now just to finish off with, just so you've seen it, I want to have a look at this example here where we've got 2 steps within the function machine. Now not much changes, it just means that 2 things are happening. Let's look at this first one. If I input 3, what will I get? Well, let's have a think. I'll do 3, and then my function machine says I've got to times it by 2 and add 1. Now 3 times 2 is 6, so at this point I've got 6. And then I have to add 1 onto that. So that gives me 7. So you can see how I'm just doing 2 things. So I times it by 2, so I've got the answer. I then add that 1. Let's think about working backwards through it this time though. So I've got 13 as my output. Now when I'm working backwards, I've got to reverse it. So I've got to do take away 1, and I've got to divide by 2 because that's the backwards. So let's again do it step by step. 13 take away 1 is 12, and then I divide it by 2. So 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. So just applying our knowledge a little bit more to a 2-step function machine. Could you have a go at this one on your own? So finding the output when the input is 2 and finding the input when the output is 26. So hopefully you've managed to have a go at that. Your first one you should have got 8, as you're doing 2 times 3, which is 6, add 2, which is 8. Now for this second one here, you should have got that your input is 8 because you have your output of 26. You're going to take away 2 and then divide by 3. So 26 take away 2 is 24. 24 divided by 3 gives me 8. So you can see there how we've just applied our knowledge a little bit further into those 2 steps. I hope this gave you a good introduction on function machines. Join us for our next set of videos which will apply this and look at solving different types of equations, and that will be another series. Thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you in the next one.